If you're not reconciling your bank account every month, your books are wrong. I don't care how good your bookkeeper is, here's how to do it in QuickBooks in under 10 minutes. A bank reconciliation sounds scary to anybody who's not an accountant, but it's actually a lot simpler than it sounds. In plain English, all a bank reconciliation is that if your bank says you have X amount of dollars and QuickBooks says you have Y amount of dollars, a reconciliation is just making sure that those two numbers match. All we're doing is tying out what's on the bank statement to what is in QuickBooks. If what you have in QuickBooks doesn't match what's on your bank statements, then something is off. It's either a missed transaction, a duplicate transaction, bank fees that you didn't catch, or in the worst case scenario, fraud. Most restaurant owners find out their books are wrong in April when they owe way more in taxes than expected. This is how you catch these problems in real time. The first thing you're going to want to do is open up your QuickBooks file and click on this accounting tab. Next, you'll click the Reconcile button, which will bring you right to the screen. Next, you're going to select the account that you want to reconcile from this drop down here. So we'll go checking account, and then you're going to enter the statement ending balance that you get directly from your bank statement. So in this case, it's $46.25, and for the purposes of this example, we're going to be using December 31st, 2025 as the statement ending date. But you would write whatever's on your bank statement here. Now that we're inside the reconciliation terminal, all we're doing here is tying out these statements or these transactions to exactly what's on your bank statements. All tying out means in accounting jargon is just making sure that whatever transactions you have in QuickBooks match exactly what are on the bank statement. So this first payment, reference number 10, it's a bill payment hitting our AP account, and we're paying Robertson and Associates, which I believe is just a made-up company, for $300. So if I see this transaction on my bank statement, all I'm going to do is check this box here. And now what that does is that considers it in QuickBooks as cleared balance. So we have a beginning balance of $5,000. We have one $300 payment, which brings us to $4,700 cleared balance. But on our bank statement, our statement balance was $46.25. So that coupled with this difference number here shows us that we still have more transactions to reconcile. So all we would do is just go transaction by transaction, go line by line on the bank statement, and make sure everything matches up to each other. Once you're done doing that, all you do is hit finish now, and you'll get this message saying you reconciled this account, and it gives you an option to view your reconciliation report here, or you can just click done. For the sake of this example, I'm going to view the reconciliation report, because once you guys reconcile your accounts, you're going to want to see something like this. As you can see here, all of our cleared transactions are in the current month. So this reconciliation was for the month of December. All our charges here are December. If you ever run into an issue where you see uncleared checks and payments after the date that you're reconciling for, you don't need to worry about them. So January 21st, 2026. We're not worried about that transaction because we're only looking at transactions up to 12/31/25. So none of these transactions will get considered into our balance number. You're always going to want to make sure that your statement ending balance matches what's on the bank statement. If you have any unclear transactions after the payment date, that's completely fine. But if you have any uncleared transactions before the payment date, you should probably take another look at them. The only time you should really have unclear transactions before this date are when you physically write a check that's still outstanding, or if there's an electronic transfer that didn't completely clear the bank yet. One of the biggest mistakes you can make is trying to reconcile your bank account for the entire year in December. If you have 20 transactions per month, every single month for 12 months out of the year, it is going to be an absolute nightmare trying to figure out what transactions should actually be there, especially if the system creates duplicates or you have a bookkeeper that's not 100% sure on what they're doing. You are going to run into issues during tax time, and that is something that you should do everything you can to avoid. Also, do not fall into the trap of only reconciling your main checking account. If you have credit cards, lines of credit, savings accounts, even if those balances are only $100 at the end of the month, they still need to all be reconciled in order to ensure accuracy on your financial reports. Do not let transactions pile up months at a time and then try to reconcile everything at once. As an accountant with years of experience in this field, I promise you're going to run into issues doing that, and it's just a headache that can easily be avoided by making sure your books are clean every single month. Again, you want to do this every month. It only takes about 10 minutes of your time, and it's the difference between knowing your numbers and guessing. Imagine making a big financial decision without knowing exactly how much you're making per month, per year, it doesn't matter. A lot of business owners fall into the trap of thinking they know how much money that they're making just based on feel, but not actually having clean books and reconciled accounts to back up that number. The easiest way to avoid this is just keeping everything reconciled month by month. That way you don't run into any issues at all. If you ever need help cleaning up your books or reconciling your books, check out ShorelineOps.com. This is my company that helps small business owners get all their numbers straight and make sure they know exactly what they're making every single month. So there's no surprises during tax time, and they have a clear understanding of where their business lies. Thank you, everybody.